Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Please press like, subscribe, and share. Share this audio with someone who you may think need it. I want to talk about the light and negative thinking. My daughter was telling me that why is it that people who, maybe with generational wealth, they could think negative or do negative things, but they still have money. The thing is that they were born into this world with wealth. So clearly they did not have a deep karma with money, or that's what they chose to do, because they didn't have karma. Maybe they didn't have a lesson to learn about money. So they were born in a family that had generational wealth. But when we talk about you who are born in poverty or middle class, you're trying to create wealth from that standpoint. Now, you were born into poverty or middle class because you either had a karmatic issue with money, something was going on, a lesson you needed to make, or whatever your journey is here, whatever you're doing here, you didn't want to have money. You didn't want to be born into a family with a lot of wealth. So then you have to create it, right? If that's what you want, because you could create anything you want. Now, money is energy, and when you understand that, you will have a lot of it, because like I always say, money is the easiest thing to create, but you first have to understand that money is energy. So your energy, money is energy, everything is energy, and it vibrates on a frequency, a higher frequency. So now when you're trying to attract wealth and you have a lot of drama in your life, or you're always thinking negative, or you're doing negative things to people, that lowers your vibration frequency. And then when you try to attract money, which is on a higher vibration frequency, it's not going to be able to stay in your orbit, in your world, because you're vibrating on a lower frequency and the money is on a higher frequency. So it's going to flee and go wherever it goes, because it's not going to be able to stay in that frequency. The people that are around you in your world are the people who are vibrating at your frequency. So if you're a negative person, I guarantee you the people around you are negative too, because you are vibrating at a lower frequency. Now, let's say you go to a party and you meet this man. You don't know anything about the man, but you feel very uncomfortable with him. That's because he's vibrating at a lower frequency. And so you just feel like you don't like him, you don't know why, but you don't mash with him. And then later you find out that he did, been to jail or did something, really awful that you felt was very awful. And then you'll realize, wow, that's why I didn't feel comfortable around him, because the vibration frequency you didn't feel comfortable around. It's the same thing with money. Money is that energy is not comfortable in a lower frequency vibration. Now you might think, well, money is not alive like I am. It can't make me feel comfortable. It can't feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Money is alive, and everything on this earth is alive, because everything is energy. The TV is in front of you, right? You're watching the TV. Well, it looks like it's stable. It looks like it's just sitting there on the TV stand. But if you had some type of instrument to see what really was going on, you would see that the TV was jumping around, constantly moving, jumping around. It's energy. Energy is constantly moving, expanding, growing, and transforming itself. Now, we can't see this with the naked eye, but it is going on. That TV appears to be standing still so you can watch it. But again, it's not. The particles on that TV is going to the left, to the right, to the up, to the down, to the middle, to the left, to the right, to the up, to the down. You just can't see it. Energy never, ever stands still. It is always moving, expanding, and growing. So what does that mean? Energy is alive. That means everything on this planet is alive. Now, it's hard for you to understand that because you're thinking at it of the TV or the fork or the spoon as an animated object. And to you, animated objects don't have the ability to sense or feel anything. But when you crush a fly, you think that they don't feel that? It feels that. Well, maybe you do understand that a fly is alive. But anything, if you sit anything, it's alive. It feels, it's not, I'm not saying it feels like you, a human being, feels, but it is aware because there's awareness. Energy is alive. It has it's a consciousness. You know what I mean? So it is aware of what's going on around it. Because you don't realize that it's aware, don't mean that that's not, that that's that's not true. So when you think negative thinking, when you have drama, when you have confusion around you, that vibration lowers your energy. And then when you're trying to create a large amount of money, you're not going to be able to unless you align yourself with the light and start bringing in positive energy. This is so important for people to understand about energy if you want to understand about money. The other thing, you have to understand who you are because you don't even understand who you are. You are a powerful being made in the image and the likeness of God. Now, when we say the image and the likeness of God, we do not mean that he is made in the image of your physical body because that is not who you are. You are a spirit occupying a physical body. Actually, you are, let me phrase that. Well, what I said was right, but let me rephrase that. You are consciousness. You are pure light that is occupying this physical body. Your authentic self is light. God's authentic self is light. God is not on the throne sitting down watching you. You could believe that. God is an intelligence that flows through light. That is what God is. Now, I know that they teach you in the church that God is, sitting on the throne watching you and he see everything you do. I'm telling you that it's not true. There were some, I don't know if I have time to go into that, but there was some, where archaeologists are always finding different things that we can verify stuff with. You know what I mean? Different things that maybe in the Bible that we could verify if it's true or not. So back in, I think it was 1945, archaeologists found a tablet. It was called it's the Gospel of Thomas, and it was found somewhere near Egypt in 1945. Let me see if I can get that right quick. Yes, it was found 1945 in somewhere in Egypt. Now, in here, they know that they said these are the secret sayings which the living Jesus spoke to Judas Thomas, and he wrote them down. So now these are the words coming directly from Jesus. Now I'm going to talk about this a little more in another another audio. I just want to tell you one thing of what Jesus said about the light. So here was one of his sayings about the light. Saying 24, the light within. There is a light within a person of light, and it shines on the whole world. What does this mean? Every mind is a radiant field of divine frequency. When thought and emotion vibrates in harmony with love, illumination extends through all matter. Consciousness becomes a lamp of hope. I just want to, here's one more, saying 50, the birthplace of light. This is Jesus, what he said. We come from the light, the place where the light comes into being by itself. What does this mean? All existence arises from self-creating energy, the infinite field from which every atom unfolds. This, do you understand that? It's the living consciousness manifesting substance. I'm going to, go over this and read this another time. But I just want to show you that everything that I've been teaching you about light are in these sacred sayings. It's up to you to understand that you are divine lights. And when you are not aligned with that light, what happens? You're bringing in darkness. So when you criticize people, when you're not kind to people, when you do evil things to people, put witchcraft on or obia and all that stuff on people, all that stuff that is permeating the churches right now, all of that stuff is not of the light. When you're thinking negative, when you're thinking hatred instead of love, you are not in the light, aligned with the light. It manifests in your world in the form of what? Darkness, struggle, financial loss, loss of opportunities. All this happens in your life to show you that, hey, something's going on with you and you're not aligned with the light. Now, when you align with the light, what happens? You have joy, prosperity, abundance, and that's how you know you're aligned with the light. So a lot of these preachers who are saying they are prophets or coming from God and they're begging you for money, they're not. Because if they were representing the light of God, God is light, then why are they begging you for anything? If the light surrounds you, that light is so powerful, so it's going to attract money to you. So these preachers would not have to beg you for money because money is going to be automatically attracted to them. But they don't understand that. They don't get that. Because they are not of the light. I'm telling you this 100%. They are not from the light. If a preacher have to come and lock people up in the church to be able to collect $40,000, and then you going to tell me that they from the light? No, they're absolutely not. They had to bully you to give them $40,000. And if they had the light around them of God, they would not have to do that because the $40,000 would have been there quick, fast, and in a hurry. So you people need to wake up, because I am here to tell you, if you are following a preacher and that preacher cannot express to you about the light, the person cannot bring in the light to help you or to help his church or to help itself, it is not of God. They are just saying they are a representation of God. They are not. If you are representing God, you know about the light. You know how to bring the light in, and you don't have to be begging for money. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Patricia Show. My name is Patricia.